It's Madden NFL 24. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Washington Commanders and the Denver Broncos. And it's all up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
This fielded right at the goal line. And fighting down inside the 25. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Leading them out, the fifth-year Auburn alum, got his first career starts last season. Here's Jarrett Stidham.
For a brief time, he was thought to be a possible successor to Tom Brady while he was still in New England, but that didn't materialize. But opportunity may still knock for him to start in the NFL today. Definitely has the arm and mobility to make plays against NFL defenses. All he needs now is consistency.
Stidham sets to throw on first. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Well, first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
From midfield now, here's Stidham. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive, INT.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
A throw over the middle, taken in by Troutman. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering it. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Stidham. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here.
Touchdown, Broncos! Adam Troutman, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are on the board first here this afternoon.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now He's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Bringing them out, the former Tar Heel, second-year pro, Sam Howell.
And he left North Carolina with most of his school's records, and at one point was thought to be maybe the #1 quarterback in his draft class. He does bring deceptive athleticism and plenty of upside to the table. Add some consistency, and maybe he can really unlock what he can be in the NFL.
They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. And off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Charles, already trailing that touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Foul now to throw it. Alex Singleton making the play defensively.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here's Tressway now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Taking on the midfield logo. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. And good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Stidham. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there. Wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Open man is the tight end Troutman. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. He got 29 yards that time.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Adam Troutman with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Broncos have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They've been outplayed early, no question, down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Now Howell. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there is no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Howell, he'll look to throw it. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Stidham. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
2nd and 10 now, Stidham. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown. Adam Troutman doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Washington offense set to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And Howell will throw it. And that will be
offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And taken at the 46. Fighting through, and he's got space. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Marvin Mims, 46 yards. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, partner, time to start thinking about dinner plans after this one. I don't want to write him off first quarter, but my goodness, the offense clicking like this and a 4-score lead.
We are programmed to not get to that stage, right? To not think that way, but you can't help it. They look like sheer perfection right now with those 4 scores this early. Let's see if they can keep it up, and let's see if there's any way possible they can be slowed down.
Yeah, right now, I don't see any signs of them being slowed down. Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. And Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. Now a 2nd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. Back to throw. Howell. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Howell tried to pick it up on 3rd. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Good clean play, no flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right at the 35. Able to power through. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
On 1st and 10, it's Stidham. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Stidham. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 20-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Touchdown, Broncos! Troutman on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos continue to pull away here in this first half. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And, Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Lutz with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos.
Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Washington ready to try again on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Here's Howell. Pressure gets to him and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And this offense on third down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be third and forever. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on fourth down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. The Broncos are about set to go on offense. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow, and he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give the offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. First down, Howell to throw. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
3rd and 1. Howell's going to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a screen for Robinson. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Throwing here, Howell. And this one is incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Sly able to put this one through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
From his end zone, Marvin Mims. And he's loose again. Past midfield, look out. He's inside the 20. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Broncos. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys. And they're devoted to a return guy who can break big plays. And when that happens and they know it's there, they're going to block that much harder and be that much more skillful, as well as utilizing his talents. And this is what you get. Punt return, kick return, a huge game.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Howell. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. We were treated to a good first half of football by Jarrett Stidham. he was nothing short of amazing, throwing 4 touchdown passes to help push his guys out to a sizable halftime lead. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Howell. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Baron Browning from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And the pressure gets to him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Tressway now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he's able to get it out of there. It's fielded at the 45. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Here's Stidham to throw. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Stidham again here on 2nd and 10. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now in the afternoon.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Now Stidham on 1st down. And he's got it. Touchdown! Adam Troutman, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are pouring it on. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a Denver touchdown.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized. He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this week.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Alex Singleton able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now. And if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Taken from his own 47. Spinning past him. 21 yards. Well done on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Stidham. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. To throw is Stidham. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone.
Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
At the 14-yard line.
Back to throw. Howell. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us. but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Pulled in at the 24. Three quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. This has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
On first down, Stidham. A throw over the middle, taken in by Troutman. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Stidham. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Adam Troutman, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Broncos continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Lutz good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And the Washington offense heading out. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam, because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
That is caught, and he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the fourth.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
They'll throw on first down. Here's Howell. Short throw here to the tight end Bates.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Howell down to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him.
Oh, Howell loses it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Denver's offense now set to go. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go 400? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second in this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
Lutz with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
And Howell will throw it.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now we'll get whistles, and they signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Fielded at the 43. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.